Hello, students and parents of Spanish 1. Um, Getting pretty nice out there. It's getting a little bit harder and harder to study and maybe sit at home and watch screencasts. This might be an opportunity for you to take your mobile device, go outside, sit out somewhere, and enjoy your Spanish screencast somewhere where it's a little bit more refreshing or in the sunlight or something like that. So just an idea. I don't know. Each to their own. However, we are getting a little bit more toward the end of our screencast. We only have 2 or 3 left after this one, which is basically one more full chapter. We're in chapter 10 now, and then we'll complete just a little bit of chapter 11 as well, and that's kind of where we are overall. So moving along nicely, we do have a few items for vocabulary and just one piece of information, one slide, if you will, for our grammar for this week. And let's go ahead and take a look at them right now. So for Spanish 1, Vocabulario y Gramática 10.1, talking about things you're doing right now. You'll see that a lot of this has less to do with talking about what you're doing right now. That will actually have more influence. It will make more sense when you're looking at it in the present progressive tense, which is a slide we're going to look at in a few minutes. Okay, a lot of what you're going to see right now, obviously, as you could tell, has to do with different holidays and things like that. So here we go. El Año Nuevo is New Year's Day. Colgar las decoraciones is to hang decorations. You notice there's a UE afterwards. That's because when you conjugate the verb colgar, it becomes cuelgo, cuelgas, cuelga, colgamos, colgáis, and cuelgan. It's an O to UE stem changer. Decorar is to decorate. Obviously, you can probably tell that. Some of these you might be able to tell just by looking at them. Obviously, they're very close cognates, like El Día de Acción de Gracias. You know that this is the day. This is the word for thank you. So this is the day of action of thank you-ness or something like that. It's Thanksgiving Day. El Día de Acción de Gracias, the day of act of grace. El Día de la Independencia, the day of the independence, or what we would just call Independence Day. El Día de las Madres, Mother's Day. El Día de los Enamorados is Valentine's Day. Great translation for this one, the day of those who are in love. So that's kind of nice. El Día del Padre, it's Father's Day. Los días festivos are special days or holidays. La Navidad is Christmas. La Nochebuena is Christmas Eve. La Noche Vieja is New Year's Eve. Las Pascuas is Easter. And the question phrase, ¿Qué estás haciendo? Asks, what are you doing? Literal translation, what you are, and then doing or making. Comes from the verb hacer, which means it's just to do or to make, and haciendo is the gerund form of that. It's like the ing form of it. You'll learn later on that they have ing verbs in Spanish, but they're not ing. They end in ndo. We'll talk more about those in a moment. So asking for and giving opinions, we have buena idea, good idea. Creer is to believe. Can also mean to think, but not like the verb pensar. It means like to think something like in terms of a belief, not in terms of like knowing something. Crees que means do you think that or do you believe that? Creo que no is I don't think so or I don't believe so. Creo que sí is I think so or I believe so. Me parece bien. Seems good to me. Perfecto, perfect. ¿Qué te parece si? How about if, ... That's like if you're making some sort of suggestion to someone. ¿Qué te parece si vamos mañana? How about if we go later? Something like that. Okay. Present progressive tense, we're going to learn more about these in just a few minutes, but just a general overview. Gerunds are ing verbs. In Spanish, they all end in ndo. So like if it's an AR verb, they'll all end in ANDO, and if they end in IR verbs, then they're IENDO. Estar plus gerund is how you create a present progressive tense. So for example, if I want to, let's say the word is to eat, which is comer, and the phrase is I am eating. Well, then that's going to be estoy for I am, and then comiendo would be eating. So I am eating is estoy comiendo. If I want to say, for example, we are talking, well, we are is estamos. And then the verb hablar is to talk, so estamos hablando. That's your process. Let's get a little bit more into that. If we take a look at our information from section 10.1, hold on. Here we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and give you just a couple more examples. I'm going to have to move myself up in a moment here, but that's all right. The present progressive is used to talk about what's happening right now. Use a conjugation of estar plus the present participle of the verb. That says present participle, another easy way to remember is just the word gerunds. Okay, so for AR verbs, add ando to the stem. So, for example, estoy bailando for I am dancing, or no están cantando for they aren't singing. For ER and IR verbs, add yendo to the stem. For example, ¿qué están comiendo ellos? What are they eating? And ella está escribiendo cartas. She is writing letters. If the stem ends in a vowel, the IENDO changes to a yendo. For example, if the verb is leer, you wouldn't write down leyendo like L-E-I-E-N-D-O. It'd end up being L-E-Y-E-N-D-O. So we change the Y to an I when in those situations. Like verbs like creer and leer both do that. So you have that Y spelling change. And we're going to revisit all that too. What I'd like you to do if you're interested in earning a little bit of extra credit for this is simply to write me 5 sentences on a note card using the present progressive tense correctly. Make sure to use at least a couple AR verbs, at least a couple ER and IR verbs. Show those to me both in Spanish and in English. So for example, if you were to say, yo estoy bailando, underneath it you'd write down, I am dancing. Please don't use any from here, but use ones that are like these. Looking for 5 of those on a note card. Show it to me when we start out the information from next week, and we'll take it from there. Okay. Hope that helps you to understand a little bit more about present progressive tense and all of our vocabulary for this week. Any questions can be directed right to me via email or bring them on into class. Ciao, hasta luego y adios, clase.